So this Twin Falls was a good stop. It was $10 for parking, but well worth it.
Hopefully you don't have to go through anything like that.
Yeah. Well, we already know. We've been pre-warned that some of these.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at this little thing. That little Honda would never make it. So. Yeah. So this Tesla is really low, so we definitely can't go on any four-wheel drive places. But this Model 3 is what we got. The Tesla.
Model 5, huh?
Well, on the door it said Model 3.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe, let's see if your door says the same thing. Or mine is. It's right down at the bottom. Here. See if it opens.
You said it didn't open before.
No, you gotta just rub it until it opens.
You tried it on the side?
I think I did, and
I thought you said you couldn't get it to
didn't work, but maybe it will today.
You probably have to switch it on to work or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to build that car.
I would too. Alright, it's open. Okay, now look on the floor down there.
Yep,
Model
Model 3.
3.
I don't know. Everything I looked up was Model 5, so.
Okay, well, we got a Model 3.
Alright, you're right.
It says model right there, Model 3.
Woo.
Okay.
Don't close it. It's definitely hot now.
Put this down there. And place this up here.
Alright.
So we are going out of the parking lot at Twin Falls. We're going to try recording out the front window and see if you guys can kind of take a ride with us right now.
Okay, that was stop number 18. Or
Stop number 18.
I don't know if you call it stop, but infogram number 18.
So when you drive these things, if I would have the camera on where we are as I'm backing up, there's like cameras everywhere.
In 500 feet, turn right onto HANA Hawaiian.
Yeah, it's just park, reverse, neutral, and drive.
You can see all the cars.
And
It's like little teeth.
Yeah, and you can't put it in park unless you push the button in on the end of the shifter. That's kind of an interesting concept as well.
Thank you.
But yeah, we got our $10 worth, I think, out of that stop.
Yeah, that was great.
So, hallelujah. Thank you, Yah. Thank you for your creation and giving us the ability to know how to come against gods and goddesses and the evil of this world. And
Thank you.
Now turn right onto HANA Highway.
be able to share the truth that gets people free. Hallelujah.
Gotcha. Right. Well, they really got that down, huh?
Yeah. That's a pretty scary little
Exit.
exit.
They have smoothies and iced coffee, but I guess they don't want us to buy any of that.
So they're trying to get us out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Alright, so we'll see how the film turns out on the front there.
Continue driving as you listen.
Alright, we
Hawaiian
will.
music has a rich history and draws inspiration from a whole bunch of outside sources. In its earliest form, the music consisted of chants and percussion and was used primarily to tell stories. Hawaiians used hollowed-out gourds called ipu as handheld drums to maintain a beat and filled other gourds with seeds to create maraca-like rattles. But Hawaiian music changed forever with the arrival of stringed instruments. Mexican vaqueros brought the guitar, and Portuguese immigrants brought an early version of the ukulele. The islanders immediately took to these new instruments
25.
and combined their sounds with the energy of the hymns they were taught by missionaries. The result was a totally unique sound unlike anything else on Earth. Hawaiians developed the iconic slack key guitar style, which involves detuning the strings and finger plucking them to produce a laid-back, easygoing sound which blends perfectly with the cheery, high-energy tunes of the ukulele. Today's Hawaiian music combines the tempos of traditional hula music with these newer instruments to create the perfect beachy vibes.
Weight limits of 10 ton on the bridge, so we probably wouldn't want to have our truck and trailer over here.
I wouldn't. I already know what it's going to be like.
Continue driving as you listen.
Jeez.
All right.
As you probably know, the Hawaiian people didn't stay isolated forever. In 1778,
Oh, we
Captain
missed the
James
0
Cook
mile marker.
irreversibly changed the course of life on the islands. Cook was a lauded explorer in the English Royal Navy. He had charted the coasts of New Zealand and Australia, circumnavigated the globe, and even explored Antarctic waters. In 1778, on an expedition to find a northwest passage around the Americas, Cook anchored on the island of Kauai. It was the first formal contact the Hawaiians had ever had with Europeans. They were impressed by the sheer size of Cook's ship and the many iron tools, and some even suspected that Cook had divine origins. During that visit, Cook simply resupplied for his voyage, trading metal objects like chisels for food and water, and then leaving. But he returned almost a year later, having been forced by winter weather to delay his Alaskan expedition. By sheer chance, Cook anchored in Kealakekua Bay at the exact moment the Hawaiians were holding a harvest festival in honor of the god Lono. The Hawaiians took this to mean their initial suspicions
down,
were
buddy.
true, that Cook was some sort of a god, or at least a messenger of the gods. They welcomed him
Wow,
ecstatic
really?
and began
They're
a
telling us
celebration.
the...
For the next month,
my gosh.
Cook and his crew
What
exploited
an
this
idiot.
misunderstanding
Says
to take
pull
pretty
over for
much whatever
locals,
they
so
wanted
yeah.
from the Hawaiian people. But Cook
goodness.
overstayed his welcome. By the end of the month, many
He just about
Hawaiians
had to
were
head
beginning
out
to doubt
because he
Cook's
was in so
godliness.
much of a hurry.
When one
Turn
of Cook's
right
And I'm already
to
going
stay on
19
Hana
and a
Highway.
15.
They realized these
Oh, I
were
thought it
just
said
ordinary
25.
mortal men,
No, it's
and they were
15.
shamelessly taking advantage of their hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
Cook, noticing the change in opinion, hastily
Looks like
decided
someone
it
smelled
was time to
smoking
leave.
reefer over there.
Now
He
Yeah.
didn't get far.
Probably the guy
Probably the guy
driving.
who drove
Wrecked his
past
mast
us.
and forced him to return to
That's why he's
Kealakekua.
doing stupid
This time, the
stuff,
welcoming
because
party
he's
was very different.
driving under the
Islanders
influence.
hurled rocks at Cook's crew
DUI
and told them to leave.
on that guy.
While the crew worked to repair
We
the
might
ship,
even have
a
him on
group
film.
of incensed Hawaiians stole one of Cook's smaller boats. Cook was furious and made a fatal mistake. He took 9 armed crewmates ashore to kidnap and
Would
ransom
that
King
been
Kilani
classic if we
Opu'u.
would have...
A furious crowd gathered and tensions
I can
grew.
pause it.
That's when it went from bad to worse. Cook's men saw a canoe
wait till
approaching and, panicking,
done and then I'll
opened
talk.
fire on it. They killed a prominent chief.
Oh.
Cook, seeing the situation spiraling out of control, drew his pistol. He fired at a warrior, hoping to terrify the crowd into fleeing. But the bullet bounced harmlessly off the man's straw armor. Uh-oh. The fighting erupted in earnest. Hawaiian warriors charged. Cook and his crew turned and fled, firing back into the crowd as they ran. 2 Hawaiians fell. But the infuriated crowd followed and knocked Cook in the head with a rock. He stumbled to the ground and was overrun. Many of the remaining crewmates made it back to the ship, but Cook was stabbed to death.
Oh, wow.
Well, he tried to kidnap a warrior princess.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a
That's
movie.
something out of a movie,
They
right?
probably made a movie out of it.
If they didn't...
He was
that
sorry he showed up in Hawaii.
I bet you he did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man, look at that.
Yeah, that reminds me of how we ran into a rock on Mosquito Ridge.
So this guy's like wanting to go fast too, but
Well, you got to have a pullover.
I don't see a pullover. The one I did see, he wasn't even
There
up
was
on me.
and there was somebody over there anyway.
Yeah. He
Well, when
wasn't
there's a
even-
pullover, there's a pullover. He'll probably go now.
Yeah, you decided to move here, obviously, and live here, so
It says yield. This is a 1-lane bridge. And there's a 1-lane bridge and he's taking it like that?
yeah.
Wow.
I would think that we have to be very careful of
So when they had
people
those
like that.
those white marks, that means one-lane bridge, I guess.
Yeah.
Let locals pass. Well, we will when there's
When
a place
they
to pull over.
Have a place. There's not that many pullovers so far. Wow.
So do they have their own speed limit signs too?
I don't know. It says 15 this whole time. It has not increased to 25.
It says East Maui is not for sale. I saw a house for sale over here.
I saw one too. So they're just trying to tell people,
Only the locals could buy it
don't
here.
think you're going to get a land grab
Don't
over here.
think about
Here's
it.
a sign over here too.
Private property. It
Oh,
says
okay.
hot coffee, hello, lookout.
All right.
Wello, lookout. Is there somebody behind you again?
Yeah, there's another one.
Okay. But that's where the fruit stand is, isn't it? Oh, shaved ice cream. Shaved ice. No. There is a lookout. I don't know. They didn't mention it. It's a place to eat. They didn't pay the app people for that one.
Yeah, and that's really, the app can go ahead and tap into
Well, I'm sure that's
referring all these places and be able to get a lot of extra revenue.
Or they already advertised one. They didn't advertise that one. I'm sure
Right,
there's a
because they
reason.
probably turned it down.
Yeah.
It might be brand new in business, undercapitalized, as we know, is a issue. But hey,
7,700.
this is the United States. I could offer capital here.
Yeah.
So,
Continue driving as you listen. Although Captain Cook was killed, his expedition still put Hawaii on European
They've done
and
movies
American
on the
maps,
story of
ending
Captain
the
Cook
island's
before.
isolation forever.
I just
After
didn't
Cook's
realize he
death,
was in
ships
Hawaii.
often visited Hawaii to trade or resupply, and American whaling ships sometimes wintered there. In 1807, one person traveled in the opposite direction. Opukahaya, a 15-year-old Hawaiian boy, decided he wanted to see more of the world and joined one of those ships as a cabin boy. Over the next 6 months, they traveled from Hawaii down the South American coast to Cape Horn and then all the way back up to Connecticut. During this time, he learned English and
we just gotta
westernized his
hope nobody
name
comes
to
flying
Henry
around the
Obukaya.
corner on our side.
Right.
Once in the U.S.,
Passing somebody
Obukaya
coming
quickly
this way.
realized he didn't have a
That
plan. He worked a
puts you
few
in a
odd
pretty
jobs
big-
and temporarily
Just
stayed
a
with a
single
family,
bridge, single
but
bridge
realized
here.
that what he really wanted was an education. He found an
Well, maybe
unlikely
not.
tutor in the president
Yeah,
of Yale,
it's pretty
Timothy
tight.
Dwight
I
IV.
wouldn't want to
Dwight instructed him
try
in
to get
secular
across.
and Christian subjects. In 1815, Obukaya officially converted to Christianity. Armed with his newfound faith, he worked even harder at his studies. He now had a new goal: return to Hawaii and share this knowledge as a missionary. And in a sense, he did. Obukaya wrote a memoir. This book inspired the first band of missionaries to make their voyage to Hawaii. Obukaya himself didn't live long enough to join that trip. He contracted typhus and died in 1818 at the age of 26. On his deathbed, he cried out, "Oh, how I wish to see Hawaii." Of course, there's no way Obukaya could have known what effect the missionaries would eventually have on Hawaii. We'll learn more about that soon.
So, you can't even see the houses in here, man. You could easily hide out in your house back here.
But I mean, what a cool place to maybe be here for 3 months out of the year and just work.
Man,
You know what I mean? Just be able to.
Okay.
Be able to
Rooster for
li-
sale by owner. That must be the. That
Be-
could be the property.
It could be the property of the truck. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I mean, just to be able to work
Well,
here.
that one's for sale. by
You know what I mean? Because you could work
Yeah.
remotely
Right.
from the computer.
Right.
I could work marketing here as a broker.
But I wouldn't be able to avoid income tax for 3 months out of the year then. Unfortunately, that's not the
Well,
way it works.
I would think if our home is there, you can travel. and still
There's
claim
a
your residence of Texas.
Well, we'll check with their
I think-
CPA on that
yeah,
one. Are
I
you
think the way-
recording? Because I really don't.
Yeah, it's all good. We're all good. You're not saying nothing private.
I don't like our business.
Well, then don't say anything.
I'll just sit there.
Yeah, just
quietly.
be quiet. I'm filming. I just got a really cool spot, and we're going so slow, it's working, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to
Yeah, it's a cool road, man.
record this little...
Got an hour and 17 minutes of it just this way. Then we got to come back in the dark.
Possibly. I mean, we might not... It might not be too dark.
Yeah, we might
As
wanna,
Westerners
yeah.
traded with the islands,
Oh, a
they brought
doggy.
something that
I don't
changed the
know, I
balance of
trust the
power
doggy.
between the kingdoms: guns. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, a series of
Don't,
wars
I don't want
broke
them
out
jumping
among the
up
chiefs.
on me, dude.
They all wanted more territory.
Oh, you're scared
Enter
of them.
Well, you
Kamehameha
never
of
know
the
with
Big
dogs,
Island.
Rock.
Yeah, but he might
Kamehameha
have been a
was
good boy.
ambitious,
He might have
sharp,
been. He might
and
have said,
unlike
"What the
most
hell
other
you doing in
chiefs,
my
had
yard,
his
bro?"
eye
Somebody
on
might have
total
threw him out of the
Hawaiian
truck and said,
unification.
"Get
He
out of
traded
here."
Oh, now
huge
there's
amounts
two
of
vehicles
sandalwood to
behind you.
foreigners in exchange for guns
You should
and
have stopped
boats.
back there. I
Then he
didn't see
invaded
him
Maui
until I
and
went
No,
Oahu,
they weren't.
which
Past
were
it.
unified at the
There'll
time.
be another one.
The ensuing battle was brutal on both sides, but Kamehameha had
There's
more
another one.
men and more guns. He drove Oahu's soldiers back until they were teetering on the edge of a cliff, literally. Then Kamehameha continued the advance. About 700 Oahu warriors careened off the cliff. Did they jump, or were they pushed? Either
That's a
way,
home back
Kamehameha's merciless strategy ended the battle.
Looks like a
Hawaii's remaining chiefs surrendered.
Looks
For the
like,
first time in history, the
Green
islands were
Acres.
unified under one chief,
Those are the ones that
Kamehameha.
get cheap,
yeah. Right.
turn into a palace. Well, it sounds like being a missionary for Yahuwah here, you know, or a shaliach of Yahuwah
I'll get the 3G
here
tour
would be a really cool place to be a missionary because
This is the one-lane bridge.
of all the gods and goddesses, you know.
In 500 feet, turn
It's
right
like they
to
need
stay
the
on
truth.
HANA Highway.
Oh, there's hens over here, not just roosters. There's a bunch of hens too.
Yeah, they got away from the...
Oh
You got it?
no. Okay.
Okay, I got one coming behind.
Yeah, I was afraid that might happen, but you can get over
Yeah, I'll
right
go over
away.
here.
Okay.
There's another one. A couple of them.
Hey, roosters.
Now turn right to stay on HANA Highway.
Now
Still
it's
15
10 miles an
Still
hour around this
15.
corner.
Oh, wow, 10?
Yeah, it's a hairpin turn. Remember that?
Oh, wow.
Remember
Wow.
this hairpin turn?
Doing that with a trailer is really something.
Well, remember when we did it with the truck? When we were up on
That's what I mean. A truck and the trailer we had. Remember?
That was scary. That was really
That was
scary.
really a trip. Yeah, I agree. Man,
I've seen Mosquito Ridge once in my life, and that's
the
enough.
last time we'll ever do California's Mosquito Ridge. Yeah.
That was enough for me. Oh, we're above the treetops. That's pretty beautiful.
I didn't even realize something like that existed in California.
It was quite amazing.
All right, what do we got
I
up
don't
here?
know, not the
Still-
rainbow.
Continue driving and look for a cluster of light-colored trees coming up on our left. Those are the remarkable rainbow eucalyptus trees.
Yeah.
Oh,
The iconic strips of color come from the way the trees
Rainbow
shed their bark.
eucalyptus.
Unlike other eucalyptus trees, they shed it in little strips at different times. When the outer bark peels away,
I
it
know, I
reveals
think
the
we
bright
tried
green
to,
inner bark. Over time, as the
Yep,
inner bark
eucalyptus,
is
it
exposed
says
to
it on
air
the
and
side.
sunlight, it begins to change color, shifting from green to blue, purple, orange, or maroon. The rainbow effect appears because all these different strips were exposed at different
I don't
times,
see
I don't
so
see
each
any.
piece of inner bark has its own color. Although their vibrant colors fit right in with Hawaii's lush greenery,
got a fence,
these trees
can't even go
actually
there.
aren't native to the islands. The Civilian Conservation
It's
Corps
these
planted
trees
about
here, I
1 million
guess.
of
Oh,
these
yeah,
and
that
other
looks
trees
like a
in the
rainbow.
1930s,
Yeah.
hoping they would eventually make a great source of
see it?
lumber.
Yeah.
What they didn't
too
anticipate
fast and
were
now
the
I can't
fierce
take the
island
picture.
winds.
Now
The
the truck's in
winds
front,
bend the
and they-
trees so much
if you
that
can
their
back
wood
up,
grain
okay.
twists until it's
Yeah, there's
virtually
nobody now.
unusable
All right,
as
back
lumber.
up to the other one.
But
so I
hey,
can take a
at
picture.
least they're pretty to look at.
Oh, now somebody's
Okay,
calling.
okay, you can go. I don't
You
have
got
the
it?
whole tree.
Did you get it close up?
Oh, he's calling on. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Okay. Oops, I'm still in reverse. Go ahead, man. Okay, I got phones in my bag back there. That's what's going off. I don't remember having an alarm, so it's just a phone call, but
Well, then it'll stop.
yeah. It sounded like it was Hey Whatever.
Yeah.
Which I want those, if it's coming on Hey Whatever from now on, I just want it to go right to voicemail.
I thought I did set it up that way.
It's not. It's still ringing to my phone.
Well, I did go in the back office and change that, so I don't know why it would be.
Yeah, and I want to put voicemails on everything, telling them to text me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my
Well, we could. I don't know.
task list things. That
I know
have.
that we had planned on doing some work while we're here and doing that kind of
That
stuff.
would
but
be important.
yeah, I really do want to get more organized while we're here, so we can hit the ground running when we get back
Yeah,
home.
our communication is our most important thing.
I get everything off of Roxanne
Yeah.
and get it in Zoho.
Very easily, we should be able to add an extra 1,000 people to our contact list every month. Just by reaching out, making ourselves accessible, going on social media marketing and advertising and promotions. Should be no problem.
It's like another bridge or something that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yield to oncoming
It's still
traffic.
15.
Oh, yeah, 1-lane bridge. It's really wet in here.
Yep. It must have rained.
The Rock, why are you doing that?
Because I had a straightaway. And I got a guy on my ass.
Oh, now you got yourself recorded swearing.
Yeah, I said ass.
That's a swear word.
She never swears.
Not on camera. Catch me if you can.
Oh my gosh. This will be a good one when we get it up on YouTube, I'm sure.
Continue driving as you listen.
Alright.
Few figures
right
quite
on your
embody the
phone.
spirit of
Almost followed
Hawaii
you.
like the singer Israel Kamakawiwa
That's
Ole,
up to
one of the
him if
most
he wants to
famous
follow me.
figures ever to emerge from these islands. Kamakawiwa Ole was born in Honolulu to a very musical
You
family.
can
So
see
from a
both of
very
those
young
boys
age, he
in
was
there.
surrounded
Yes,
by
that's what
song.
we're doing.
He took all this to heart and began practicing singing on his
This
own,
is that Israel
simply
guy.
because he loved it. As it happened, he had a voice like
Remember?
none other.
Israel.
At only 14, Kamakawiwa Ole had already become a remarkable
We
talent.
listened to some of
He
the
sang
music
at a
when we were
graduation
home, and I was
party, and the
trying to-
whole crowd
You think
fell
so?
immediately silent as soon as he began.
I hope we play
Everyone
this
could
song.
tell he had
You know,
something
you're not gonna
special.
make it.
A childhood friend once said this of him. Mana
Says you're
is
gonna
like
hit.
an energy that you get. We believe we get ours from the elements first. The earth, your sky, your ocean, your God, and all that is inside of us. And when we open our mouth to speak, to sing, or to play, that's what we let out. But it's that makes him special, because his mana always came out. But the story of how he produced his biggest hit is perhaps even more remarkable. In 1988, at around 3 in the morning, Kamakawiwa Ole felt an inexpressible need to record one song in particular. He called a nearby recording studio, where Milan Bertosa was closing up for the night. Bertosa initially declined Kamakawiwa Ole's request, asking him to come in tomorrow. But Kamakawiwa Ole
It's
was
like
so
a
polite
guacamole.
that Bertosa eventually relented.
My
Kamakawiwa
name's
Ole showed up
guacamole.
15 minutes later, all 6 feet and 500 pounds of him. He went straight into the booth,
6 feet,
did his
500
soundcheck,
pounds,
then
the guy.
performed
Yeah.
a breathtaking
Yeah,
rendition
that
of
was that
Somewhere
guy.
Over the Rainbow.
See, somewhere over
He
the
was
rainbow.
big,
That was
yeah.
the guy.
One take, one song, and he was finished. Bertosa was so taken aback by the
It was a
performance
beautiful
that
song.
he
He
didn't
does a
know
great-
I
quite
love
what
it.
to say
He did a
afterward.
great
I didn't
He
know
kept
he
a copy of
rendition
the
of it.
recording, gave one to
Well, he didn't write
Kamakawiwa
the
Ole,
original.
and the two
Sure he
parted
did.
ways. There was no contract, no
In
album
1988.
deal, so the tape just sat
When he
in
recorded
storage.
it
But
in
from time to
1988.
It was in a
time, Bertosa
musical
would take it
before
out,
that.
dust
It was
it
in
off,
The Wizard of
and play the song
Oz.
for friends or family.
Yeah.
It was just that good. 5 years later, Bertosa happened to end up working for a recording
She's
company
about to
where
call me a
Kamaka
dumb
Vivaola
ass.
was recording his
You
first
can hear that in her
solo
tone,
album.
dumb ass.
During the
is
last
what she's
days of
about to call me.
recording,
Nope, I
Bertosa
was
She
not.
didn't say
He
dumbass, but
fished
she
out that old
said
tape
dumbass
and
in
put
her
the
tone.
rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow
doesn't count.
onto the album. It became
That
a smash
doesn't
hit,
count.
by
It
far
doesn't
the
count.
most
That
popular
doesn't
song on the album.
consist of
That
swearing.
one track, recorded in one take at 3:30 in the
play
morning,
it?
rocketed to the
know.
best-selling song in Hawaiian music history and has remained there ever since.
Wow.
Kamaka Vivaola died only 4 years later, at the age of 38,
Yeah,
due
yeah.
to
He was
complications
Because
from
of
his weight.
obesity.
Oh,
The whole of
hypnosis
Hawaii
Hawaii,
felt his
yeah.
passing. He even lay in state in the Hawaii Capitol building so all could come and pay their respects.
Wow.
Despite the sadness, however,
There's-
mourners were encouraged to remember Kamaka Vivaola's own words, spoken just a few years before his death. We Hawaiians live in both worlds. It's in our veins. When our time comes, don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Plant a tree in the middle where they play soccer. Kind of small, then I'll grow big.
And they're not going to play it.
No.
Yeah, it's because
We
they
played it on
don't have, they don't
YouTube.
have the,
They don't have the
marketing rights from Sony. That's why.
We know all about that. I guess I just can't get pictures on that side very well. Oh, the ocean's right there. Maybe. One lane bridge, 10 miles per hour. Boy, where is it? Okay. Oh, look at that tree. Oh, wow.
I couldn't see it. You got to take pictures when you see
Yeah,
something like
well,
that.
it's we were already past when I saw it, so we were right there. But I had to say stop. And you love me telling you what
Oh,
to do
yeah.
when we're driving.
I love it.
Especially.
It's my favorite thing in life.
You know what? I'm sure every other husband out there has the same,
You
has
think
the
so?
same thought about that.
Road hog. Backseat driver. It is absolutely breathtaking trip for sure.
We're only an hour and 9 minutes away from our destination. One of them. I'm sure we're going to stop a couple more places along the way, but to the HANA, to the end. To the HANA town. That's perfect. Because our
We got to figure out if we can open this.
yeah, I
thing,
did it. I didn't have GPS or wasn't able to look up the. I did a Google to see if the model. It didn't come up. Does the model? I don't have any signal, that's why. I can't be looking at my phone, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you saw that, and you saw that convertible. You're like, why can't I open my? Oh shoot!
I saw it.
There's a big coconut right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Go grab it.
Well, I don't have my shoes on. Why don't you? I'm trying to find out if I can open the sunroof. So let me
Alright.
check that real quick.
You work on the
The
sunroof.
coconut's right by the front. And
I will work on that.
search. Well, I went to Amazon shopping. That works. How weird is that, huh? Oh, YouTube. Huh. No.
All right, so we are going to grab a coconut.
Maybe that's.
End this clip and we'll start a new clip soon. That was actually 30 minutes. Wow. So that'll be a good one for YouTube. Love you guys. We're having a great time. We're on the road to HANA. As you can tell, this is the normal banter of the Simchat Sand.